Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Matt Piper. I'm an artist, actor, and writer, and someone who also has a full-time job to back. Now, I have been gone for a little bit, took a little bit of a break, about 3 weeks, and I am back. I'm back. Thank you so much. Hold your applause. I understand that you missed me. But it was a much needed break, at least just away from YouTube. I don't think I really actually took a break per se, because I don't know how to do that. I was working on my book, and then eventually I stopped working on my book almost completely for a couple of weeks. So it was like more of a burnout kind of a thing. And then I just put my energy into other random locations, like a video game, which was not great, but whatever. I still had fun, still am enjoying, but it was just like energy was becoming haywire, and I was putting energy into random locations that I didn't necessarily want to put it. And so it was just kind of like, I don't want to do YouTube right now because I want to do this other thing, but then also I want to focus on my writing too, so I need to get back into that. And it was just overall burnout, I think. So I took a few weeks off and tried to figure out how best I could rest. And I don't know, like I do feel like I come back to this constantly, which is this conversation of how do you rest? And also, at what point do you start seeing signs of the need to rest so that you can circumnavigate that ahead of time? All I have are theories in this, and I do want to share them with you because I feel that I have gotten better at noticing the signs of burnout, but I haven't gotten much better at figuring out how best to rest. So let's talk a little bit about what some of the signs were when I was coming into this. And now, mind you, I still have some of these signs, so like I need to figure out how to actually navigate the break that it is that I need. I have something that's coming. So I have the Chekhov Acting Consortium that's coming in June, like the 1st of June. So that's soon. And that to me is probably going to be very fulfilling. It's going to be a lot of work. I understand that, but I also imagine it will probably help me minimize attention switching, because I will be focusing solely on the practice of the Chekhov Consortium. There's only two main things that I have to do. I have to teach there and to get my certification, and then I have to act. I have to play the character, build the character, and we're building and focusing on that character all week. So that'll be a good break. I have that to look forward to. So just mind, I guess why I'm saying that is to make sure that you know that I have plans to hopefully be okay in terms of my stamina and mental capacity. So I'm doing good. And I'm also feeling better now because the weather is amazing. And so I'm just riding that high. And also I got some great news at work, which I got a very minor raise, but a very cool new opportunity that I got. And there is definitely a lot of positives that are happening too. So, and I'm feeling good. But suffice it to say, what the main topic and point is just understanding why it is important to rest. And I know that I will speak about this in the light of I need to be better, but I do want to share at least the experience that I have with it right now. Now, I have been a human being who has been a part of the hedonic treadmill of the American society, the American dream. And I live in America, if it's not clear yet by the last couple sentences. But with this comes that pressure of being someone who is very successful and is making copious amounts of money and is further pursuing the ideals or the desires of humanity. And well, being this person, of course I want to do that. And I have subscribed to that for a very, very long time. I still do at a lot of capacities, and I'm not necessarily over that. But it is definitely something that's on my mind. I am constantly going and going and going and going, and what I am subscribed to keeps telling me that you should keep going and going, but like more. And you should just do more. And if you don't do more, then you're falling behind everybody else. And if you are falling behind everyone else, then you don't matter in society. How dare you? How dare you live and exist in this human society where we are all meant to be moving forward? How dare you? So that's how I feel. That's the voices in my head sometimes. Or also just like some of those like people that you might watch on YouTube, or whether when I was on Instagram, like I haven't been on Instagram for the past couple months, but you would see these influencers who would be telling you that the only way forward is to just do more capacity, more things, more time spent. And there is a hard justification and proof to it. I completely understand it, but also there's something deeper than that, which is, yeah, but you also never talk about when you take a break, ever. When is it that we're going to find out how to take a break? Because as a human race, as a human society, we are just flushing ourselves down a drain and then expecting ourselves to swim upstream of it. And I think we're all just kind of falling susceptible to this. And it's been on my mind a lot because I personally need a break, but I don't necessarily know how best to take a break or to feel okay enough to take a break, right? And I also have seen this within many of my friends. I've seen this with many of my coworkers and my colleagues. And I've seen this with my parents, and I've seen this with my little brother, and I've seen this with my older brother and my sister. Like, I have seen this throughout all of my community in growing up, is that I just don't think we really know how to take a break and how to accept that we are taking a break. Because there's always something that we could be doing. There's always something that we could be doing, something that we could clean, something that we could pick up, something that we could put away, something that we could further, something that we could do to accomplish, to cross off the list. But we need to take a break because it is the only way that we can recover off of the things that we've just done. And even Andrew Huberman, which like I've watched some of his videos, and I do really think that he is extremely exceptional in the work that he's bringing to light. And what I see from him, what he has said also, is the best way that you can study, the best way that you can memorize something, the best way that you can continue to learn a skill is by doing the actual thing, but then completely taking a break and doing NSDR, non-sleep deep rest, for like a 20 minutes. It's like a meditation, basically. But then you do this, and then you basically are rewiring the brain so that you can then fit the synapses together for the thing that you just learned. Because then you are subconsciously relearning the thing without ever having to actually look at the thing again. You have to do the thing, you have to intake the information, but then you do take the break so that you can rewire the brain so that we can understand the mental pathways of actually understanding the topic that it is that you studied. And then you go again and you keep repeating that. So within the 15 minutes of work that you might be doing, we should be taking like a 5-minute break. Or within 30 minutes, we take a 5-minute break or a 10-minute break or something like that. I have to let my dog in. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. But without this rest, then we're just intaking constant information and doing nothing with it and not allowing ourselves to actually rewire and actually move forward with the information that we've just which we've just taken in. So this is why rest is important. And it's the same with the physical movement as well. When you break down muscle tissue, you have to also recover it. You can't keep going to the gym, and you can't keep breaking down muscle. You can't keep injuring your muscle. You have to recover it, or else it will actually destroy itself, and the muscle will just be ripped from your bones. And then where are you now? You're injured. It's the same mentally. You have to go and do the thing. You have to stimulate the brain, but then you have to then take a break. You are going to be changing and growing, but the only way to actually grow any further is to actually take a break, to take a rest, so that your body can recover, and so that then you can formulate what it is that you need to get past the wall that you were butting up against to begin with. Now, one of the things that I do feel like I am able to actually see is burnout. Burnout comes when things just start affecting you so much more. And at least for me, this is something that happens for me. That what I will ask you is to be conscious and cognizant of what it is that is affecting you when you start getting into a mode of burnout. So once you might not see exactly when you burn out. And if you burn out, try your best to be as forgiving to yourself as you possibly can. Understandably, it happens. But if you could think back to what was occurring before your burnout actually happened, take some of those notes down, because that may be a repetitive process. Burnout is a shutdown of the body, and it's a protective system. It's your physiological handbrake that's going, yeah, we're done. Stop. Please stop. And with this burnout, it's going to be important to just ride the burnout. Sit down, take a break. Sometimes burnout can also be you get sick. Your body sometimes doesn't have an excuse or doesn't feel justified enough to take a break, so you'll probably just get sick. And you'll keep going and you'll keep going and you'll keep going until you get sick. And then you can finally go, oh, I can take a break. Whew, finally. But I'm also sick and I can't do anything that I actually want to do. You're just going to lay in bed and you're going to be sick. So with the signs of burnout, some of the things that I find is there can be a health thing to it. So physically, am I getting up every single morning feeling refreshed and well rested? If I am not, then that could be one point. Like, I feel like it's a scoring system. It's like a point system where if I tally this moment off and this moment off and this moment off, if it adds up to a certain value, it will probably mean that you're very close to burnout. So if I'm waking up every morning and feeling refreshed, and I'm going to work and I feel, inspired, I don't necessarily have to fully feel inspired, but I am going and I am feeling good and solid, and I feel pretty like I have a strong foundation to me. And if I am communicating effectively to people and speaking clearly, and I'm not necessarily slurring my words sometimes, then I'm probably all good. I'm probably able to keep going. Now, if I am not able to communicate effectively, if I am if I'm not socializing, if I am being affected by extrinsic things like feeling irritable and like I work on the phones, right, at my job. At my job, I'm working on the phones. So if I'm getting a phone call, if every time I get a phone call, I'm feeling irritated, that's probably not a good sign. It's something that I should probably look into and go, what's going on with that? Every single time I get a phone call, I'm going to be irritated. Let's figure this out. Or like speaking to the actual person, being irritated with them, not on the phone itself, but usually it's typically afterwards because I'm going, what the heck was that? And if I'm complaining more, if I am waking up, or actually if I'm just trying to sleep in, if I'm not waking up at all and just want to stay in bed, then I'm getting closer and closer to burnout. Those are typically the things that I see. Those are typically the ways that I see burnout occurring to me. Or if I am having some like health things. Like if I struggle at the gym, sometimes I can figure out if I'm burning out, if I'm struggling at the gym based off of if I am lifting much lighter weight and I can't push as hard as I typically do, then that would be another point in the scorecard of, are you burning out or not? So it's nice to have that physical process too, so that you actually know, this is the normal, and I am below the normal. There you go. I am below the normal. If this is the normal, then I am below the normal. And I need to check in on that. So those are all the signs of burnout to me. And it's just important to keep an eye on that. Sometimes you'll notice these things way later. And it's a little difficult to grasp if you're not paying attention, or you're just going and you're going and you're going. But to the best of your ability, I ask you to try your best to maintain consciousness within your everyday, because you will find yourself at a time where you will burn out if you are going at the speed at which you're going. And you have to be careful, because when we live in America, there's always going to be messaging of you could do more. You could always do more. You could take on more responsibility, and you could lower your boundaries and start accepting more to your plate. So try your best to remain as conscious as possible, because you don't necessarily want to add too much. You can add things, that's fine. When you are at your season of doing and accomplishing and you have that energy to you, it might be in the spring. Then that's perfectly fine. But when it's the winter and it's February and also into March, just accept that there is probably a seasonal capacity that you need to just sit in. And that's okay too. Sometimes I always push during the new year, but I always feel like the new year is just not the right time to start doing things. Sure, you can definitely name a goal and you can do things slowly during the New Year's. If you want to accept the goal, that's perfectly fine. But at the New Year's, you should probably start slow and then you could ramp it up later. But that's neither here nor there, because that's just another theory. But where I am right now is I'm getting back into the swing of things after taking quite a long break from my writing. I am slowly but surely getting back into it. And to be honest, I am actually really close to being done. But I was also really close to being done 3 weeks ago too. So, but now I have 2,000 more words. And that's it. I have 88,243 words over there. And it's I'm so close to getting to the editing phase. I really am. And I have maybe one more scene to write, and maybe I have to complete that arc afterward just to kind of find a good landing. But otherwise, I am really close to finishing the writing portion of this book. Plenty more writing to go. That's for sure. That is for sure. I have a lot of editing that I need to do. And what that process is going to look like is just reading reading. I'm going to read the entire thing first, and I'm just going to write notes. And then I'm going to go into editing small sections and just organizing. And then I'm going to fix, just tinker and play, which, wow, that makes me excited. Like, I'm just really excited for that. And I am getting back into the flow of things, and I'm really happy because I can actually just start coming back from whatever that rest was, whatever that break was. And maybe I did rest enough. Maybe I am all good. But now I get to put that energy and focus into my book. I got the acting consortium coming up in June, so I'll put my energy in that. I'm rereading for like the third or fourth time, I don't know, my Chekhov book. So notating in here and just rereading, and it's re-inspiring, and I'm feeling good to continue forward. So let's continue forward, my friends. Come with me. Let's go into the spring feeling refreshed and rejuvenated and alive, and let's actually do these projects. Let's do these things. And if you are someone who is taking a break right now, then take your fucking break. It's okay. Please take a break. Because sometimes that shit is hard, and it's only going to get harder if you don't take a break. So take a chill pill, take a rest. It's all going to be okay, and you're going to pick up the thing in no time. Okay. Much love today and every day, and I hope you have a great day.